Okay, it's way too early for this, but I'm going to go for it. I was up at the store here thinking about what to make for dinner, and for some reason, this piece of bread caught my eye. And I thought, okay, let's make a sub. So, and it's not going to be your, whatever people call the classic Italian sub, which we are going to resolve this summer. But I asked for some picante salami, some mortadella, and I'm going to go with this galbone, which is a very interesting and pedigreed cheese here, and tomato. I might or might not put some onion or something else on it, but I think we'll just go with these things right now. Make a sandwich. Now, like I've seen on some Italian video, or some Italian food video, it's actually a thing. These are pedigreed Italian cooks, not Italian Americans messing around with things, but they take the bread, and this is a rustic bread. It's got a nice crust on it, but they do peel out the center here a little bit. I'm sure there's a lot of uses for this nice fresh bread that's coming out of the center for various stuffings and so forth, stuffed artichokes or something else. So I'm going to do that. And thank you, Steve Dershimer, who is definitely an American, not an Italian-American in the slightest, but he grew up in Philadelphia with a lot of Italian-Americans around. So it's funny how some of these techniques get passed on. So anyway, I'm just going to stuff this up. I need 2 hands to do this, make my sandwich, and then I'll show it to you. I'll cut it in half and show it to you. And that's it's definitely a little bit early for to be thinking about hoagies or subs or whatever the Italians actually want to call them. And yeah, that's what I wanted tonight. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of very nice oil in this bread before we go anywhere with this. And this, I'm extremely fortunate to have this oil that comes from a friend of mine's olive orchard, I guess you would call it. Okay, and then this nice mozzarella. Then we're going to put on some additional cheese here, and the meats, and the tomato, salt and pepper, and that's my sandwich. Maybe a little bit of another drizzle of oil and some, aceto, balsamic vinegar. Okay, so I tasted this tomato. It's definitely not up to par. It's February, so it is Italy, but it's not what I'm looking for in a tomato by any means. So summer is the time for these things. A little salt and pepper here, and this bread that's torn out of the center. Look at this. I got a little bit of spilled oil here. What am I going to do? Yep, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I should have put a little salt on that, but it's good. So that's going to be my my hoagie. Okay, and before I cut this hoagie, you take a knife. I use my bread knife because it's long and has a long flat back on it, and you push it down in here and squeeze the bread together around the knife to get it to fold up. But look what this leaves here. This nice big valley just screaming for some kind of sauce or something to go in there. I don't know. Mayo. Maybe mayo. Tonight, nothing. But for next time. But for now, I'm just going to enjoy this oil here. A little bit of sale. A little bit of oil that came out of the end of the bun there. And cut this in half and have my sandwich. You won't be hearing any more from me on this one. Okay, I lied. You saw those lemons laying there. I'm just going to put a little bit of lemon on this side, just to see. Okay, despite the fact that the tomatoes are really not in season yet, and there's no lettuce or arugula or spinach or some kind of a green thing on here to beef up the salad content, it's not a bad sub at all. So this one here, I've taken a couple bites out of. I started here at the top and worked my way down. It took 3 bites to get from the tomato layer through the meat section here down to the more cheesier dominated section. And now I was thinking that lack of consistency, the fact that it does have a different taste in this layer than this layer, different blend of things. It's one of the beauties of this sandwich. It's just genius. Now, I don't know, I like the rustic bread, the wheat bread. Not necessary, but good. But you notice here, let me get a pointer here. So I started off here with a layer of a very nice mozzarella right here. And, so many ways you could layer this up. And then a picante salami, and then a nice, mortadella. You can never go wrong with mortadella. And there's going to be all kinds of arguments among stupid Americans about, oh, it has to be this meat or that meat or whatever meat. There's 1,000 ways to make this sandwich wonderful. That's the beauty of the thing. And then here's a layer of cheese I cut off. I'm not touching this cheese with my pencil. Don't get worried about that. It's a good 20 centimeters away. But it looked kind of like a Swiss cheese. There was just a chunk of it up there at the deli, on top of the hill. And so I said, give me that little piece. I'll split it with my dog. So, and then the tomatoes here, just some pepper, some salt, a little bit of salt. And as I said before, these tomatoes are way out of season, but it's a pretty good sandwich. So it makes me really look forward to hoagie season. Hoagie season and tomato sandwich season. They are coming.